Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is October 6, 2021. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. The disclaimer is, but for stalking, harassment, threats, unwanted attention from a guy who grosses me out, I find him creepy. The same as all stalking victims do. The girl on TikTok, Polly Peretti, every girl who's been stalked doesn't like it. But for what you're doing to me, there wouldn't need to be podcasts or posts or anything at all. So that's one. The second is use allegedly. Whatever is accused, use allegedly. Because Mr. Warman's going to make me say that. Not because I believe that, but that's because that's what, by law, Mr. Warman's going to make me say. So I'll say it. Okay, so last night, here's the thing. There's been a cycle here that has gone on for years, and these guys do not get it. They look like dogs chasing their tail. We do something to her, or plan something, we get caught. She finds out, and it doesn't work out. Over and over and over and over. When you sit around on your fat, perverted, lazy ass and plan to harm another human being in a way that constitutes a crime, you could go to jail. Then, when you're just talking about it, that's just talk. When you actually do it, now it's a crime. And when you get recorded all the time because you're being investigated for the torment, torture, and starvation of women and children and broadcasting us all over the world, all over the net, so that is child porn because these women have kids in their home, and it is sexual exploitation of women and children. And you keep getting caught and caught and caught and caught and caught. What in the fuck is wrong with you? Do you not realize how the rest of the world perceives you? See, there's a reason most people won't do what you do. They won't do it. It's embarrassing. They don't peep. They don't hack. They don't harass. They don't threaten. They don't starve. They don't try to get women's cars so they have to leave town. And they don't need a cover-up. They don't need one. And Mr. Perry's always asking me, did your family tell on me? Mr. Perry, I told you to stay the fuck away from my family. Do you want my guys going to your family and turning them against you? Then don't fuck with mine. You reap what you sow. When we get what you just said without your consent, we're doing it legally, by the way. That's karma for you raping me in my home without mine and hacking me and butting into stuff that's none of your business without my consent. Do you not understand how the world works? Are you that slow? I mean, the slow and the Alzheimer's that we have to repeat the same things over and over and over and over is like chalkboard, fingernails on a chalkboard. It is getting on everybody's nerves. Mr. Perry, everybody's sick of you. That's why you're getting caught. Mr. Robertson and Powell and Josh and Joe, everyone is sick of you. And that is why you're getting caught every day. Every day. And you want to know, did your family tell on me? Is it Z? Is it Al? Is it Lindsay? Is it Renee? Is it Ty? I told you and told you and told you and told you and told you, Alzheimer's. I'm not told that. But I also told you stay the fuck away from my family. Then you won't have to wonder if one of them is your leak. But the fact that you have to ask who told indicates you did something you didn't want told. Something illegal. Something to harm me. You don't know what you're dealing with. Power, Mr. Perry, that can get me the Fabian puzzle when you had me illegally detained. Right there up under your nose. It's not your name on that puzzle. Is it? Is it your name? I don't think so. I think it's not your name. They have that kind of power. They have that kind of power, Mr. Perry. You can't even be normal for 5 minutes. You can't do it. You don't have control. You don't have power. You can't just be normal. You can't keep up with normal people and go work and go do things with your family. And you can't do it, can you? You don't have that kind of power, do you? You're weak. You're impotent and powerless. And you're a slave to your desires, aren't you? You can't control yourself. You have these strange urges that you know are sick. They're illegal. It is illegal to peep and hack and stalk. And the reason it's illegal is because a whole lot of people got together and decided it was offensive. And in this society, we will not tolerate that. We won't tolerate it. It's illegal. So is witness tampering. So is forgery. So is coercion. So is destruction of evidence. So is obstruction of justice. Read Title 18 of the United States Code. You've violated everything in it. You're a wannabe, not the wanted one. And that is the best you'll ever do. When you hit on me, Mr. Perry, it makes my skin crawl. I go, ugh, ugh. Makes me want to barf. There's no reciprocation. You're lying to yourself. You ought to be embarrassed. Everyone else is. Everyone else is embarrassed because we're not stupid. And you are. We have control and you don't. These men in my life have power to get me that. That's Fabian's name on that puzzle, not yours. See the word me? You're just a temporary butt-in. You're just a wannabe. You're pathetic. You are pathetic. They gave that to me right up under your nose. At the worst time in my life you caused. Not some other random time. Right then. When you did that horrible thing to me. And you've been trying to do it every day since. You guys are getting desperate. I told you guys the other day. My guys are going to go out. Robertson and Powell. Hard and heavy this week. What do you know? Last night, Robertson. We got to get her car. We got to get her out of Oklahoma. Why? What's it to you? You guys go into a court of law over and over and over. Not let me in there. We're not doing what she says. She's crazy. She's delusional. We're not doing anything she says. But you are. You get caught. You get recorded talking about it. Over and over and over. The McNamara email. This puzzle. We got to get her off the net. We got to get her out of Oklahoma. What can she, if I take her car, then she'll have to leave. And the guy told you last night she's right in a place where she could walk to work. Well, what are we going to do? We heard you. We heard you. We heard you. You're recorded. You're recorded. You're recorded. I mean, I'm repeating myself. Here we go with the Alzheimer's ward again today. It's very frustrating to have to deal with people this slow. Because we're not. You should be embarrassed because I'll tell you what, you're embarrassing everybody else. Get some class and dignity, Mr. Perry, Mr. Powell, Mr. Robertson. We hear your desperation. That's right where we wanted you. Because you know what? When people get desperate, they start making mistakes. You're exactly where we wanted you. We're very strategic. This thing where you guys call people and tell them don't hire her, don't sell her groceries online. Crazy shit you've done to me. Trying to starve me out of Oklahoma. I didn't come up here to pick a fight with you, David. You picked one with me. I came here to get away from Charles Perry drama. I don't do drama. I came here to get away from a weirdo. I don't do weirdo either. So, you came at me. Did you not? I asked you to stop repeatedly. Had you stopped a long time ago, where would you be right now? Where would you be had you just stopped 5 years ago? Or even 3 years ago? Or 2 years ago? Or 1 year ago? You wouldn't be in the situation you're in right now. Very, very desperate. We can hear it in your tone. We have to take her car. We got to get her out of Oklahoma. But why? What's it to you? Who am I to you, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Powell? That you guys are so desperate. You need to get Perry under control. He's the one with the mental problem. Maybe you all have it. I don't know. I thought maybe it was just Charles and you other guys didn't have a mental problem. Or Alzheimer's. Maybe you all do. There's a whole group of you. There's a whole group of you, men, who have mommy issues and enjoy picking on women and children to feel tough. Against me, except I have help. I have help that can do that. Fabian puzzle. McNamara email. Mike was drugged email. Get her out of Oklahoma email. Take her car email. over and over and over and over. You don't know who you're dealing with, do you? But you can see what we can do. All you had to do is leave me alone. Then there's nothing to tell. And I've said that. And you, as grown-ass men, made the choice to keep going at me and keep going at me and keep going at me and keep going at me. And every time you do, you get caught. I guess yesterday, I was supposed to go to the car dealer. I had no idea. Why would I need to go to the car dealer? Did you instigate something that would, or you thought you did, that would require me to go to the car dealer? Did you do something to my car that I need to know about? That would require me to go over there? Why do you want me to go to the car dealer? You going to take my car there? I mean, that's all we've heard. Get her car, get her car, get her car. You recorded and recorded and recorded and recorded. And that was, I guess, you, Mr. Robertson. I'm told last night, my guys are going at you and Matt harder right now because you're the threat right now. Mr. Perry is always the threat. Mr. Perry, you gross me out. Listen, there's not a relationship here, sir. You gross me out. I don't feel anything for you, but deep, deep, deep disgust. We are not a couple. Stop acting like you think we are. You're embarrassing me and your family, and you should be embarrassed. You need to get some dignity and respect for yourself. I don't like you. The more you contact me, the more pissed off I get, because I don't like you. You're not my type. I find you creepy. You're a weirdo. I don't like you. You're just a wannabe. Not the wanted one, ever. You've been chasing me for a decade, and you've not once got a date, ever. But you are caught and told on, and caught and told on, and caught more than ever in your life. You creepy little stalker. It's illegal, Mr. Perry, in all 50 states to stalk a woman. It's illegal in all 50 states to voyeur. It's illegal all over the world to engage in sexual exploitation of women and children and to starve, torment, and torture women and children. You're in trouble for human rights violations. You got somebody very big after you. Very good at what they do. When I tell my guys, I think I'm going to apply for work at XYZ place. I think I'm going to buy groceries at XYZ place this way or that way. They've already made phone calls to set things up so that when you call to fuck it up for me, you're recorded. If they can do something like get that puzzle to me and get what you just said from you and give it to me, you don't think they thought of that too? Jesus, you're slow. When you have to ask me, Mr. Perry, who told on you, was it my family? So I guess what that means is you're confirming. You're going to my family. You're telling them we're going to do something mean to her. We want you to go along with it, whether you like it or not. And then when I find out, you think that they have told me. And see, I've stayed away from them for quite a while so that you can't make that accusation. I got sick of it. I'm not told who the leaks are. I'm not told that, Charles. I'm not told, Charles, who the leaks are. Charles, I don't know who the leaks are. I'm repeating the same thing over and over and over and over. Write it down, please, Mr. Alzheimer's. You need to get checked for that. That's a deadly disease. It will kill you. You need to be on medication. It's no different than a heart attack. It will kill you dead. You can't remember anything at all. You mean, we catch you, and you guys act like you're not caught. And we catch you before you do it. You wake up in a new world every 5 minutes, don't you? It's embarrassing for me, Charles. You embarrass me. There's a reason everybody else doesn't act like you act. It's pathetic. You're a criminal, allegedly. You're a criminal. You embarrass me, Mr. Perry. I wouldn't walk in a room with you for millions. It would embarrass me. It would embarrass me to be seen with you. You're not my kind. You're disgusting to me. You disgust me. You need to get that through your head and stop bullshitting yourself. You have a problem with delusion. Voyeurism, stalking, harassment, threatening, coercion, grand larceny with intent to coerce, conversion, with intent to coerce. Mr. Robertson, it has been duly noted for the record you want me out of Oklahoma. Mr. Robertson, it's been duly noted for the record you want me out of Oklahoma. Mr. Robertson, it's been duly noted for the record you want me out of Oklahoma. Mr. Powell, it's been duly noted for the record you want me off the net. Mr. Powell, it's been duly noted for the record you want me off the net. Mr. Powell and Mr. Perry, it's been duly noted for the record over and over and over and over. You don't like getting caught. No bad guy does. And you want me shut up. And you want to run me out of Oklahoma. And you think that will stop someone else stopping your crime, don't you? You actually think that, don't you? Well, you think wrong. We got this all so long ago. I mean, this has been going on for well over a year. First of all, this is in August 23rd, 2019 was the first time they started talking about taking my car. It isn't legal. It isn't legitimate. But I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. And that was in Manford. And this has been sitting around all over the internet for a good long time. Mr. Powell, you don't know who all posts what, do you? You have no idea who all helps me, do you? Because you're not stalking me, are you? You don't have cameras in my home, do you? If you had cameras in my home, then you would have names of other people helping me, wouldn't you? Would you not, Mr. Powell, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Perry, Mr. Burson? So, let's settle that for the record right now. You have cameras in my house. I've said that. So you must have names of other people that post. You must have video of me sitting in my house on my phone talking to the cops that get me that right there. You are recorded. Do you not? I mean, you know this already, don't you? So let's establish that for the record right here, right now. You are peeping on me. So you know the phone that I use to call and speak to the cops and the shrink. You know who all posts what, when, and where. Because you're sitting there watching us, aren't you? Right? That's for the record, Mr. Powell, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Burson, all you people. You watch me. You see me on the phone talking to the police, don't you? Okay, they got the ones that got me that. You saw me talking to them when they got me that, didn't you? So, Mr. Perry, you don't really need to ask who told, do you? You're a stalker, you already know, don't you? Okay. Then we get this. Or, you know. Then we got this. We really need to get her car and get her out of Oklahoma. We really need to get her car and get her out. How many recordings of this conversation are there? What's it to you? That was in May. That was in May. Then there's this one. We're going to take her car and there won't be a rental. That was in October of last year. You've been at my car since 2019. And this is in October when I started helping Mike. And you did not like that. You asked me if I'm a police officer, but you didn't put it together in your head that I might Sherlock that case because the timing was awfully weird. 6 days after I file a police report, all of a sudden the chief is dead. I'm going to tell you something. Everybody in Manford said they did it. You think you're fooling people? Oh my God. Wow, you really are slow. You're not. You've made people angry at what you did to Lucky and Mike. Angry at you. Everyone is sick of you. That's why you're getting caught, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Powell, Mr. Perry. Everybody's sick of you. You're hurting people. Everyone is sick of feeling scared and anxious and threatened and threatened and threatened and threatened and watching suffering and watching suffering and watching people hurt because what you do every day, you're awful. You're monsters. Stop. And then you won't have to worry about it. Go be normal. Because other men in my life have power. Power to catch you saying that right there. Power to get me that puzzle. Power to fuck you up in your crime. Like you've never been fucked up before. Because you are hurting people and you will be stopped. Because you won't do it by yourself like big boys. And it's awful what you do to people. You don't know who we are, but you see what we can do. Your little seances didn't work, did they, bitch? I don't believe in Satan. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe Jesus is Lord. You lie to yourself all damn day. You look foolish, too, by the way. I don't want your religion shoved down my throat. I have the freedom to worship whoever I want to worship. You don't have the freedom to shove that down on me. I don't like it. Get it off me. You violate every civil right I have. You violate all your victims' civil rights. You're getting caught. You're getting caught. Write it down, please. We're sick of the repeat. You're getting caught. You're getting caught. This was recorded. The thing last night was recorded, David. This was recorded. Who got it? Who got it from you and gave it to me? You watched me at my house. You ought to know all that. You're chasing your tail. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing everybody. You're hurting people. We don't like it. No one likes to be hurt. No one likes to watch you hurt other people. Everybody blew up. The world blew up when Derek Chauvin hurt George Floyd. The world blew up because nobody likes that. It's not hard. This is something we all learned in daycare. You're very slow. It's very irritating. You're being stopped because you won't do it by yourself. If you did it by yourself, you wouldn't have to go around asking who told and, trying to make some plan that fails. Take her car. Take her car. Take her car. Take her car. I want her out of Oklahoma. I want her out. She keeps catching us. We don't like that. No criminal likes that. But I'm not alone. There's no fucking way I could do this by myself. And I said this week, they're all over you, Robertson, because you are the threat to me this week. They're all over you, Matt Powell, because you are the threat to me right now. That's what they do. They're lawmen. They don't like little pussies that hurt women and children to feel tough because they got some sort of mommy issue. They were too low class to keep between them and their mommy. You're an elected official. Fucking figure out how to have some class. How embarrassing. People don't do what you do for a reason. Everyone else doesn't act like you for a reason. Can you not put that together? When you mess with me, you get caught. When you mess with me, you get caught. When you mess with me, you get caught. You don't get a date. You don't get any kind of reciprocation, Charles. You get rejected. And you get caught. And it has been that way over and over and over and day after day after day after day. And you still don't get it. When you mess with me, you get caught. How many more times does that need to happen before you get it? You are going to jail. They have a strategy with the way they're going to do that. It's not up to you. You can buy everybody you want to buy. You're not getting to our guys. There's a reason it's a need to know. There's a reason you don't know exactly who it is. Dead Lucky and Framed Mike is part of that. Once you did that, they really went deep cover. You're stupid. I've not seen anything like it in my life. So all of this was recorded. This, again, is last October. We're taking her car, and there won't be a rental this time. Because how many times before did you fuck up my car and had to get a rental? Right. See, that's on the record in our court. Every single time you did it. She didn't go to the dealership yesterday. She was supposed to. Was I, David? Why would I go to the dealership yesterday, David? Huh? Why would there be that expectation? You tell me. You were recorded talking. I heard you. They played that for me. You guys, peep, you should have watched me on my phone last night, shouldn't you have? Yep, okay. Are we going to let Ernest help her? Are you going to let him? You butting in to my family? Did you call Ernest and tell him something, and now you're worried he's a leak? I told you stay the fuck away from my family, didn't I? Yep. Okay, so that was also last year. They want her car so she can't get around. And that was July of last year. Over and over. How many recordings are there about my car? There's hundreds. You guys can never stop talking about getting my car. Yep. Over and over. Our judge heard it. Our judge isn't ignorant on fact. Our judge heard it. When they want an investigatory order of some sort, he gives it to them because there's hundreds of recordings, and then my emails, typing out the recording, hundreds of recordings of you talking about taking my car, get her out of Oklahoma, get her out of, because I'm a threat to your crime, David, right? You don't like that? Stop with the crime. Then there won't be any more recordings. You're giving us, you're the gift that keeps on giving. I didn't come up here to pick a fight with you. You picked one with me. I came up here to get away from one. I moved twice to get away from a fight. I moved twice to get away from drama queen Charles. I don't do drama. I'm busy. If he'd get busy working, he wouldn't have a problem. And you too. If you'd work like normal people and go be normal, you wouldn't need a cover up, and you wouldn't have to, we got to figure out a way to get her out of Oklahoma. And then, last night, I'm sick and tired. You guys better figure out who these people are, because I'm sick and tired of her saying, I told you so. And there's more to it than this, because there's also recordings about killing people. And the more you do, the more you start substantiating. I'm going to tell you something. It's harder to overcome in the mind of a jury. When they've heard 100 things about you taking my car, and 100 things happened to my car, and all this stuff about my money, and you're getting in my wallet, and then there's one plate about murder. It's really hard to believe that all those are true, and that's not. Right? You need to think this through, and you're not. It's funny. It's funny as fuck. You play all these about my money, or get her money, get her money, get her money, make her broke, make her broke, make her broke, get her car, get her out of Oklahoma, get her this, do this to her, do this to her, do this to her, and here's the but for. But for you doing that to me, there wouldn't be this. Nobody would tell on you. There wouldn't be anything to tell. There wouldn't be then this, where it's all over everywhere. You don't put things together in your head like normal people. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen people this slow. You want me off the net, Matt? Why don't you tell me to my face? Why don't you come up here to Oklahoma with your attorney, call me up, we'll schedule an appointment, I'm going to come see you, and you're going to tell me that to my face. And why? Why do you want me shut up, Matt? What do you have to hide? What crime is it, Matt, that you want covered up? That I'm talking about, and it makes you uncomfortable? Write that down, or mail it to me. No, I'm sorry, don't mail it. Email it to me. I don't take y'all's mail. Your mail to you, from you, goes to someone else. I don't get it. I never even see it. Because you breached my protected address years ago. Listen, you're caught when you fuck with me. I have help. I could not do this alone. I couldn't do it alone. There's no way. There's no way. And all your wicked plans, your plans to do some crime against me that would hurt me, are caught. We're tired of it. That's why you're caught. We're sick of you. That's why you're caught. No one likes to watch someone else suffer. I'm sorry that you do. You're a sick, twisted motherfucker. You need to go to get some help. Their criminology reports on shit just like what you do. And what kind of mind, what in the hell is wrong with someone that would do that? They write books about it. Professionals study it. There's a fucking Netflix special for every single one of you guys. Why would anyone fucking do that? Why would ya? Why would you? Mr. Powell, Mr. Perry, Mr. Roberson, Josh. Josh, you're supposed to be a lawman. Why would you hurt me? How much is he paying you? Because normal people don't like that. They don't. They don't want to see another person hurt. Why do you? There's a whole chapter in my criminology textbook about y'all. What the fuck is wrong with someone that would do that? You're a Netflix special waiting to happen. Look at that one. There's not going to be a new car, a new apartment. And then Burstyn tells somebody after they finally had they sent Terry Wagner. He's the conduit of coercion. Lucky starts complaining that I don't have any money. Here comes Terry with money. Terry does road construction with David Robertson. The funniest thing is I said to him, do you know a guy named David Robertson that owns Dynamic Shot? No, never heard of him. And I'm thinking, man, you must think I'm stupid. Because you've been in this business for 40 years and you've never heard of David Roberson in the same state? Oh, come on. You've at least heard of him. He's probably your BFF. That was my first thought before everybody started digging. Because when you start doing something to me, everybody starts digging. I have other men in my life with power. You don't get a date, you get told on, you get caught. First time that's ever happened to you. And you keep going at it every day like a dog chasing his tail. And everybody's standing back going, dear God, what in the fuck kind of stupid is that? What in the hell kind of stupid is that? She said it. She knows. She said it. She knows. You can't do it now. She said it. Well, you can. But then she can say, I told you so. Now she's got you on premeditated, malicious intent, blah, blah, forethought, all that. There's a but-for standard. But for you doing that to me, there wouldn't be a reason to catch you. Right? There wouldn't be anything to catch. You know how many times I've bribed a police officer? Never. Didn't need to. You know how many times I've bribed a judge? Never. Didn't need to. So why do you? $25 million is a lot of money to piss away. That's a lot of money to pay for a cover-up you didn't get. You don't know who we are, but you know what we can do. You see it. And yet you still go at it. We're like, wow, wow, wow. Wow, that's, I have no words for that. I have no words for that at all. So Terry comes in and he's giving me money because Lucky's telling him, get your hands out of her wallet. I'm not going to have people in my town inconvenienced because you want to get out of a lawsuit. So here comes Terry with money. Then it comes time for appeals. Terry disappears. I don't hear from him for like a year. Then they get notice there's going to be motion to vacate on fraud. Here comes Terry. I'm all distraught about my wife. I can't make it in tonight. But then he comes in on the night his wife dies. Who the fuck goes in a strip club on the night your wife dies? I've already shown all that. I'm not going to do it in this one too. It's on the Manford thing. It's insane that anyone would do that. And then he's giving me money when they want me to, over that. I want an apartment and Charles gets recorded. There's not going to be a new apartment or a new car. And that started October of last year. Also, I was deposed in October of last year on Michael Neely's case. So here comes Terry to pay for my new apartment and my new car. He's getting VIPs at my work. So, conduit of coercion. We want her to change her mind. And then Josh Burson, I believe, said, now she can't say that she didn't get a new apartment or a new car. And the person he was talking to said, do you have any idea what she had to go through to get that? It's just a fucking little apartment and a little car. And he harasses and bothers and harasses and butts in and butts in and butts in. And she has to fight like a motherfucker just to get an apartment and a car. Things that you and I go in and just get it and don't think twice about it. Everything's a fucking fight for that poor girl. And I promise you, the second she gets it, he's going to start trying to figure out how to take it away from her. We're all sick and tired of watching that. Everybody's sick of you. That's why you're caught all the damn time. Normal people do not do what you do. It's a crime because it's offensive to people. Thousands of people got together and said, we're not going to tolerate that in a civilized society. We're going to make it where you go to jail if you do that. It didn't occur to you, Mr. Perry, Mr. Powell, Mr. Burson, that might cause people to turn against you because you're causing suffering and everyone's tired of you. You fuck with me, you get caught. You fuck with me, you get caught. You fuck with me, you get caught. It has been that way day after day after day after day after day since the McNamara email, which might be here actually, I don't know. Yep, it is. 2015 McNamara email. It has been that way every day you get caught. Recording after there's thousands of them. It's gonna take your fucking attorney years just to listen to them all. Get the fuck out of my life. Get your cameras off me. Get out of my life. Get out of my phone. Get out of my computer. Get out of my life. Mr. Perry, Mr. Powell, Mr. Burson, and Mr. Robertson. Then you won't have to be worried about getting caught. but for you're committing a crime against me 24/7. You wouldn't have to ask me who told. Would you? You wouldn't have to worry, Mr. Powell. Get her off the net. We got to shut her up. Over and over and over, you're recorded. We got to get her out of Oklahoma. See, if you'll leave me the fuck alone, you wouldn't be in the hole you're in right now. You're in deep. You're desperate. You're right where they wanted you. Because when people get desperate, they start making mistakes. Big ones. The kinds you can't explain away. You're pretty much there. Because everybody else around you doesn't have the IQ of 30. We're smart. We see it. Everyone does. You're not fooling anybody. Who is this, Charles, that told you any idiot can see she's telling the truth? He didn't say, oh, gosh, it takes a genius to figure this out. It takes a very smart person. He said any idiot. Any idiot. Who the hell do you think you're fooling? You're pissing people off. Since 2015. Charles, you're pissing everybody off. You're the criminal. You're the butt-in. You're the stalker. You're bothering. You're causing the harm. You're causing discomfort. You're causing loss. You're causing anxiety. You stop. I came up here to get away from you. You leave. You don't live here. You represent people in Texas, do you not? Are you even in Texas? Maybe somebody needs to be told he doesn't even live in Texas anymore. He's in Tulsa all the time. Because in our courtroom, Mr. Perry and Mr. Powell and Mr. Robertson, you're going to have to show proof of what you've been. You need an alibi. Proof of where you've been and what you've been up to with your time. You don't have a choice. If they got this, that came from somewhere, didn't it? Who got that from you to me? Which courtroom has it been heard in? One that doesn't do what the judges you buy do. He's not going to be ignorant on the facts. Charles, you act like you're a victim. You're loony. You're delusional. You think there was a political vendetta. You went into court and said, oh, there's a political vendetta with no evidence of that at all whatsoever. And now everybody's going, is he delusional or did he just lie? You came up here and told everybody we're a couple. Pinto said it. I argued with that bitch for 10 minutes before I flipped on my recorder. I came here for your husband. I'm not married. You got the wrong person. Tell me which girl, describe the girl you want to talk to. No, it's you. No, it's not me because I'm not married. We're arguing and arguing and arguing and arguing, and then I flip on the recorder. How many times did he go, you're wearing a wire? How do I know you're not wearing a wire? How do I know you're not wearing a wire? How do you know? How many times did he ask me that? Charles, get the fuck off me. You're delusional. Stop bullshitting yourself. We're not a couple. I came here to get away from you. You don't live here. You went into court and said, I'm not in Oklahoma. Did you lie then too? You got like 4 perjury things. Just boom, right off the bat. It's not political. We're not a couple. We'll never be a couple. You make my skin crawl. It has to go both ways. Both people have to want it. That's a relationship. Otherwise, it's a victim-criminal relationship, and that's all it is. I've rejected you for a decade. There's not a date. There's never going to be a date. You are going to jail. You're going to jail. My guys will do it. Do you understand? You're dealing with people that can get me that. Because this was well before you did it. This was October 2015. You didn't do it till January 16. Wake up. Fabian Puzzle. Other men in my life have power. They're after you because I need the protection. And they're lawmen. Since this date, every single day, you are caught. And that is the only thing you get out of this. But maybe that's what you're after. It looks like it is. It looks like you just like getting caught. Now, it's been noted for the record, Mr. Robertson, that you want me out of Oklahoma. My guys went at you harder yesterday, just like I said they would. It's been duly noted for the record, Mr. Powell, you want me to shut up. It's been duly noted for the record, repeatedly, in the courtroom of the guys that got me that. You don't get a date, you get caught. And rejected, and rejected, and caught, and rejected, and caught. And it's the same thing over and over and over and over every day. And you're slow, and you're pissing everybody off. It is not illegal to reject unwanted romantic advances, it is illegal to force yourself on a woman that does not like you. It's called stalking. It is a felony. And for you, Mr. Perry, it's a federal crime. Harassing someone to try to coerce a lie. Mr. Powell, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Perry, Mr. Burson, threats, intimidation, retaliation, coercion, that's a crime. So they have, going back to Terry, I file motions to vacate. Here he comes again. I file motions to intervene for Mike. He disappeared. It's like you can see it. And I even told them, this guy is being watched to establish that you're trying to coerce me. You're trying to use money to entice, and so you'll put, there's an inflow of money, or you punish me when I won't lie for you, when I won't do what you want, and then you take it back. We're watching him in particular. If there's consistency in everything, then we don't have a case. But when you start putting money in or pulling it back based on what I do, whether or not I do what you want, I'll lie for you or I'll do what you want, that's coercion. It's illegal. It's criminal. Title 18 of the United States Code. Do you have attorneys that know how to read law? Maybe they're in it with you. Maybe they're part of the conspiracy to commit crime. Are they? You tell me, Mr. Robertson. They're going at you because you're the one posing the threat to me right now. And they're not going to have that. You don't know who we are, but you know what we can do. So here comes Terry with money for my apartment. But then I filed the motion to intervene. Now they want to get my car, my apartment. We got to get her out of Oklahoma. Blah, blah, blah. Recording after recording after recording. I've heard it. First time in your lives that's happened. You don't know who we are, but you see what we can do. And your threats have been duly noted for the record in our courtroom. Our judge heard it this morning. He heard it this morning. When they're ready to make an arrest, they'll make an arrest. They have a strategy. Believe me, they have one. Oh, and you wanted me to go to witness protection. That kind of defeats the purpose, does it not? I'm the bait. You take it every time. You take the bait every time. Every day. Caught. Everyone's sick of you, Charles. I'm sick of you, Charles. You are not my type. You're not good enough for me. I reject you. I don't love you. You make my skin crawl. You make me want to throw up. Get the lie out of your head that we're ever going to be anything. We're not. It's a victim-criminal relationship, and that's it. I'm not in love with you. Stop bullshitting yourself. You look ridiculous. You're an embarrassment to me. You're an embarrassment to your family, and you're too stupid to be embarrassed yourself. You need to go get some help. You need to go get some help. So that guy tells, I think it was Burson. Again, I'm not told who's on the recording, so I'm guessing at it based on some voices I can recognize. So it sounded like Josh. And the guy goes, did you have any idea what she had to go through just to get a fucking apartment and a fucking car? It's a little car. It's a little apartment. It's not a mansion. He's letting her get it? You're shitting me with this, right? It's not his business. He needs to stay the fuck out of her life. Then you don't need a cover-up. And everybody's tired of watching her suffer. And everybody's tired of being threatened. Did you talk? Did you tell? Was it you? You know what we could do to you? You better not talk. Everybody's tired of it. Stop. Everybody's sick of you. That's why you're caught. Everybody's sick of you. That's why you're caught. When you fuck with me, you get caught. When you fuck with me, you get caught. It's cause and effect here. A 6-year-old could see it. Now, cease and desist. Mr. Perry, you owe me money for watching me in the privacy of my house and selling me all over the internet. Against my will, there's no consent. You never had my consent. It's $1,000 a day for every day that you do that. It's $2,000 a day for every day, plus $2,000 a day for every day you do it without my consent. You're getting entertained, you sick motherfucker. You're doing it against my will. It is a crime in all 50 states. My guys know that. The judge knows that. That's why he grants orders. Do you understand? I don't like it. Stop it. Cease and desist now. Turn that shit off. Turn that shit off. If you have a forged marriage license, I want a divorce now and every penny I'm entitled to as an ex-wife under the law. Because I never agreed to that. I wasn't there for your imaginary wedding. What a weirdo. Do not ever do that again. And the reason that I believe you probably did, even though I've not seen that document, is because Lucky asked me about it, and Pinto comes in and argues with me for 10 minutes. Your husband sent me. I'm not married. Your husband sent me. Listen, dude, I think you got me mixed up with someone else. I'm not married. What does the woman look like that you came to see? I thought he had me mixed up with someone else. And I'll tell you what, nothing pisses me off more than some fucktard Looney Tune going around telling people that I'm a wife. When I'm not a wife, I'm free. Listen, I'm free. And I'm not in love with you. I am not. Who the fuck does something that weird? It's marriage fraud. Well, you like fraud, don't you? You just like going around making up. You're living in a make-believe world. You just lie and lie and lie. You lie to yourself. You lie to everybody else. I got a political vendetta. Yeah. Did you lie or did you really believe at the time that you had one? Even though there's not one fucking email or text or nothing. When I'm mad about something, look at what I do. I am vocal like a motherfucker. I'll tell you exactly what I think. I don't have any problem with it at all. And yet not one rant anywhere about your politics. You're the fucking new guy. I'd been at it all my life. I didn't need you. And I didn't do Texas legislation. That wasn't my thing. I did federal. I don't do state. On the rare occasion that it affected my own family, I did state in New Mexico. Otherwise, I don't do state. Do you understand? You lie all the time and you're caught. When you mess with me, you get caught. When you mess with me, you get caught. It's the same thing over and over and over and over, and has been since this email was sent in 2015. They're all over you, David, because you're a threat to me. You're causing me problems. The more problems you cause, the harder they go at you, the more we catch you. You're all over you, Mr. Powell. Same thing. I was supposed to go to the dealer yesterday. Why? Why was I supposed to go to the car dealer yesterday? I was not aware of that. I was not aware of that. Why did you think I was supposed to go? One of y'all feel free to tell me. Because I had no idea I was supposed to go to the dealer yesterday. You see what I'm saying? What'd you do? Did you do something to my car that I needed to take it to the dealer yesterday? Whenever you want to explain that, please feel free. Otherwise, listen, we got shit to do. We all have lives. You need to try getting one. Then you won't have anything to cover up. Mr. Perry, this is an attempt to collect a debt. You owe me money. You need to get that paid. And you stop with the peeping. You stop with the exploitation because you're caught. More than ever in your life, you're caught. Stop it. Don't contact me again. I don't like it. I do not care what you think. Didn't ask you. What I asked you to do is stop contacting me. Stop thinking that I give a crap what you think. We're not a couple. I don't care what you think. You don't understand how gross I think you are. I think you're disgusting. There's not a relationship here. Stop bullshitting yourself. Get the hell out of my life.